Hi everyone, Sandy from Hobby Headquarters. Today I want to talk to you about an exciting new line of paints and primers that is going to be issued worldwide very soon. These are mission model paints. They're a 1-ounce bottle of very high quality pigments. Very nice looking stuff. You may have seen me build it, or use them, excuse me, in the last build when we did the M3 Lee tank. I was very impressed with the way the colors were, and John over there was kind enough to send us out a complete range of the colors. So what I thought I would do with you today is kind of show you all the different colors with the paint chips and things like that, and kind of put them through the paces and show you how they actually go on plastic. So let's get started on it. The first thing I want to go over with you guys is the color chart and the range of paints available. Now, this is the first wave of paints, and they're primarily some primary colors and then some military colors, plus a range of primers. And after talking to John, he assures me that there is going to be a couple of other releases of paints coming soon too, with some more aircraft colors and eventually even car colors as well. So main thing here that we're dealing with is some military colors, which is right down my alley with all the armor and stuff that I build. One thing that I was very excited to see is the number of olive drabs that they have and the different tone variations. There's 3 faded olive drabs, 3 regular olive drabs, plus not to mention some Russian ones, and just some really cool colors that sometimes are kind of a pain to have to mix if you're using other paints. But these are all ready to go. You just need to add a little bit of thinner to them. Plus some other colors that I'm very excited about. You have some rust colors, of course, but are the primers, including this red Oxide Primer. Now he has it as a primer as well as an actual paint. And there is some new kits coming out from Takom that there's this big mine rammer thing that's coming out that I'm really excited to build. And these paints are already ready to go, and I'll be using these paints actually to build and paint that kit, rather than having to mix it up like I did for the interior for the Takom King Tiger that I built a few months ago. So as you can see here, just kind of go over quickly, like I said, with some of the colors. You have most of the primary colors like orange, green, red, blue, black, white, things like that. Then a nice little range of some, mainly of the green colors. And also one other one to point out to you too is some of the German colors that he has. He has the Dunkelgelb Late, which is sometimes kind of hard to find, and it's the real light vehicle color that the Germans painted in World War II. Looks really good right out of the bottle. Also included in this line of paints is some nice Israeli colors, as well as lots of sand colors that you can use for doing some of your modern armor. There's a British sand as well as a U.S. Army desert tan, and of course a couple of Israeli sand gray and sand gray 2. So they have a couple of those in there as well. That'll be really nice doing all of the Israeli armor that's been coming out. 2 other products that are going to be issued with the initial run of paint are their thinner, which is designed specifically for the acrylic paints in there. But also this one right here. This is a polyurethane mix additive that they've come out with. And what you do with this is you just, on like 20 drops of paint, you'll put in probably about 3 or 4 drops of the thinner, and if you want to, you can add 2 or 3 drops of the polyurethane mix additive. And this is a leveler, and it also makes the paint go on really ultra smooth. And it's just mix it up. It's got a little ball. That's another nice thing. All these bottles have the little ball rattler inside of it, so when you're shaking it up, you get a really good mix of the paint. So what we're going to do is, because we have the polyurethane additive, we're going to put some of that in, because I did that as well when I put this one on, and the paint just really flowed on really ultra smooth. So let's put some of this paint on some plastic. Use the paint. I'm going to go ahead and show you the actual instructions that come on their color chart. And this breaks down, and they're recommending a 20 to 30% thinner to paint, although you can actually get away with a little less than that as well. And then the polyurethane mix additive, you want to go real light on, usually only a couple of drops, and you don't want to make that too thick because it'll slow the drying time down. So what I've done here is we've got our brand new bottle of Mission Models paint. This is the red Oxide Primer. Figured I'd open up this one because this will be one of the first ones I start to use. You'll notice right off the top is that they're all completely sealed as they come from the factory. And that way you know that you're getting paint that's not going to be all dried out or inside. This is also all made in the United States. Like I told you earlier, it's got the little rocker ball in there so we can shake it up real well. I'm just using some basic styrene sheet that we're going to paint on it. I'm going to be using my Awada HPC airbrush. This is the one I mainly use in all my videos. And we'll be setting the pressure to about 22, 23 PSI. Okay, what I'm going to show you now is I've taken the paint and I did, just like we were told to, about 20 drops of paint, about 3-4 drops of the thinner, and then 2 drops of the polyurethane additive. So I went ahead and put on 2 light mist coats over the entire piece of plastic here to show out how smooth it came out. I didn't actually obviously film me just painting because it was just me painting back and forth on a flat piece of plastic. It's kind of boring, but very, very impressed with the way the paint laid down. It was very, very smooth, and the additive really made the paint lay flat, and it really leveled out nicely. I'm trying to get some angles here that you can see how the paint laid down. I thought I would do a little experimenting with the paint as well. Now, right here, what I've done is I've put a really, really, really wet coat of this paint on here. Now, it did have the polyurethane leveling agent inside of it, so I put on probably about 6 coats, didn't let any of them dry in between, and real heavy too, opening the airbrush as wide as I could, and just put a real wet coat on, and let's just see what happens to it. So after we put that really, really wet coat of paint on this to kind of put it through its paces and see how it react. It did take about 30 to 40 minutes to fully dry, but to be honest with you, I'm even more impressed now with it. The paint has laid down so smooth, and it's just an incredible finish on it. And I think that has a lot to do with your polyurethane additive. It says it's a leveling agent, and when we put it on so wet, it just did a beautiful job on it. Hopefully you can see. I'm trying to kind of turn the angle here so you can see the light reflect off of it, just to see how smooth the actual piece is. One more experiment I'm going to show you guys. This is an older Dragon kit that I've had for a while that I had started repainting a while back, doing the black and white coat, but never did anything further on it. So I thought this would have been a perfect opportunity to test out the Israeli Sand Gray version 2 paint. This will come in really handy for some other Israeli vehicles we do down the road. And actually, Dragon is going to be issuing, and they've already come out with this same identical kit with a few little options upgraded on it to turn it into an Israeli version. And there's actually, I think, 2 other versions coming out in the near future as well, too. So perfect timing for it. So what we're going to do with this one now is, I was reading the instructions in the booklet after, and it said that we should try to keep the pressure at about 15 to 18 pounds. So we're going to go ahead and shoot this at the 15 to 18 pounds and see how it comes out on the vehicle. I'm going to paint the front of the vehicle here, and I'm going to show you at a 1:1 speed. That way you can actually see the distance that I'm away from the vehicle and the amount of paint I put on all at once. So that way you get a better feel when you go to use it yourself on how to apply it. So here is the paint dried now. It's given about 10 minutes to dry, and it is completely fully dry. It not coming off on the fingers or leaving fingerprints or anything like that in it. The paint is very smooth, very easy to use. I'm very, very impressed on it. In fact, over the entire video, I tried all different types of things that, you know, that a modeler might accidentally do by putting on paint too thick, putting in extra thinner, changing the pressure, all of those things, and the paint behaved very, very well. Now this kit right here too, we'll probably go ahead later on and do some weathering and stuff on it, but this was strictly just to show you how it going on a three-dimensional object as opposed to just flat styrene. Behaved very well. We didn't have any runs or anything on it, and other parts of the vehicle, I put it on kind of thick too, and still no problems. So I am going to highly recommend this paint to anyone who's doing modeling. Everything worked out great on it. No matter what we did, it always behaved the way it's supposed to. They're going to be available, from what I understand, any day now. They'll start popping up. In fact, I will be carrying this product in my store as well. I was very impressed with it and wanted to offer it up to my customers. And from what I understand, it's going to have worldwide distribution. So keep your eye out for it, because like I said, it just behaves really, really well, and it's just great paint all the way around. So I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and please stay tuned because we have more models and more reviews coming up.